This is a Jmix exclusive.
The part I was talking about with the psychic thing, my buddy Tony Green knew I was like that, and he knew I was accurate with it. So I started reading Dre and started reading all my stuff would come out true, and then they put me to the test because we was before Pop came. We supposed to do this 2-month tour, right? And I read the tour. I said, man, this tour ain't gonna last no 2 months. It might last 2 weeks, but it ain't gonna last nowhere near no 2 months. And they said, "Oh, you wrong now, man. We're gonna be out there. We gonna make it happen." I said, "Okay, we'll see." I think it's less than 2 weeks. Guess how long the tour lasts? 8 days. So after that, they wouldn't question me no more because I was batting 100 with that, and I wasn't even trying to show off like that. It was just a gift I had from birth. I was always like that, still like that. But it's just the fact that Pac knew that. He had heard about me being that kind of guy. And as well as being able to play music, he knew I was kind of one of them gypsy kind of guys like that. So he wanted me to bring, when he was doing his last movie, he had me in there with him because he was playing a bass player that was from Detroit in that last movie, they did Gridlock'd. And I was his bass player, and I'm from Detroit. So he wanted me to hang out with him and show him how to look like he could play the bass. He didn't really have that. I showed him how to just play it off, but we would just talk about deep stuff. We talk about Jimi Hendrix, we talk about spirits, we talk about whatever. But then the last time he asked me to bring my cars. I said, "You sure, Pop?" He said, "Yeah. I don't know if we should even have this on the thing, but I'm just telling you because it's true, and it's deep like that." But I brought my cards, and he shuffled the cards, and I laid the cards out, and the last card was the death card. And a lot of times, death don't mean death all the way. It means that you're making a new life for yourself on this side. But with the cards I saw leading up to the death cards were violent cards.
Did you convey that to Pac? Did you tell him that?
Pop saw it with me. He saw it with me. We both froze. Not only did he see it, he felt it. It was a deep moment because I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. And he wasn't the same for the rest of the evening because he knew I had this reputation of being accurate. And the best thing I could tell Pop was be careful, man. Be careful because these cars don't look good. I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. I didn't say he would go get killed, but the death card was the last card he pulled, and it was a lot of violent cards that went, right? Because a lot of times the death card don't mean nothing but that you go change your lifestyle, or you go either get richer, you'll get poor again, or whatever. Your situation is going to change, or you're going to become a new person, or whatever. But with these cards that led up to it, I knew it was violence. I knew it was some violence. And I felt it, and he felt it, and he was different. Once he saw that, he felt it. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good to me, and I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. And when I saw him, he was distressed about that. When I last saw him, the last time we talked to each other, he went to do a scene or something. I think he went to do that same scene, and he was sitting there, and he was just looking very depressed and very concerned, and even a little scared. And I hate to say that, but that's the honest to God truth. I hate to even this story for it to be in there like that, but it's the real truth.
What do you say to
the real truth?
Because you knew him. What do you say to people that say that Pac had a spirit where he was chasing death?
Well, him and Biggie both was too much into that. First of all, ain't no real such thing as death. Everybody comes and goes all the time. That's just where life is. But, I mean, like when you go to the spirit. And the spirit is where, see, everything that you see physical, everything in the universe that you see physical comes from the spirit. The Big Bang, all that shit, all that stuff comes from the spiritual world. The spiritual world is forever. This shit is, everything dies in the physical world. But it don't cease to exist. It just goes back to the spirit, including people, not just people, but planets and all that shit. So this is some stuff that I knew. The scientists are finding this out right now, but the spiritual people already knew this, and science will eventually prove what the spirit already knows. I've been able to articulate this stuff. And I'm not even that much of an intellectual talker, but I was born and I know how to explain the little stuff that I know. And I read constantly about everything in the music business. I mean, as far as all the stars, I can tell you about all the record companies, Atlantic Stax and Motown and everything else. That's my hobby, and my other hobby is reading the spiritual books. Ever since I was a little boy, I knew instantly. When I first saw my first guitar when I was 2 years old, it was in a seed book that had a guitar in it. So I'm a bookworm kind of. I got a secret intellectual side, but I can explain the stuff where it makes sense and it's simple. Everything you see physical dies and goes back to the spirit, including the sun, the planets, all the universes, all that shit come from the spirit. Period. So therefore, ain't no such thing as Pac being dead. Pac is transformed into a spirit of who he is. And he's still Pac, and just like Jimmy's still Jimmy, and they connected to other lifetimes. That was before they was Pac and before they was Jimmy, and after. It's all connected. I mean, that sounds crazy. It sounds insane if you don't understand it. But I know about these kind of things. I don't want to get the interview to go into that direction because it will spook people all day. Go think I'm crazy. Go think you crazy. Whatever. So be careful how you want to put it out there like that. I'm just telling you. I mean, you can say it where they can take it. Because if I get to talking, they ain't gonna be able to understand what I'm talking about, and they ain't gonna believe it. And if I got people, some people can sense it, and some people think it's way out. They think it's the Twilight Zone, and it is.
Yeah.
Because all the Twilight Zone stuff come from real. Most of it come from real situations. That One Step Beyond, Twilight Zone, all that stuff comes from real situations. And I just happen to be a person that was born with that gift and born with the music gift. That's the kind of guy. I'm a different kind of guy. So I know about both things. I'm damn near. I could be drunk out of my mind and play the guitar and don't miss a note. Just like when you get drunk and the spirit drives you home and you know how you got there, I'm on autopilot. I can, God got me so plugged into that. I can just play, even when I'm like that. I don't get like that no more, but every once in a while, if I get, I said, I don't even remember the gig. How was it? It was great. You were great. I was playing with Shaka Khan, and we were playing this Grammys party or whatever, and we come on last, right? And we did it out here somewhere when them Grammy parties and stuff. And everybody was drinking. We had been drinking all day. I was the band leader, so I had the new show. Of course, I could do the old show in my sleep. And I said, man, how did I do? I don't remember. I remember. What's the boy with the horns? He wear the cap. Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav was on the side of the stage with the horns on, and Angela Bassett. I was on my knees playing, going through all my Ricky Rouse, Jimi Hendrix thing, and she was going crazy in the front. And I asked everybody how I do. I said, they say you was great. You didn't miss a note. And we had a new show, so I know I'm plugged into that point, like that. And Pac was like that with the words. And then he had this, like Malcolm X or like Martin Luther King, he just had that kind of spirit behind the words that made it real. That's why people love Pac. And the girls like him because he's a good-looking brother. And he had he wanted to be like a soldier. And that's kind of, he was an actor too. So some of that vibrato was acted, and some of it was real. You know what I mean? But that wasn't. He shouldn't have took the front line like he did. But Death Row put him in the front line. He put him in the front line, and because he had nothing to do with them chains. They stole from the Atlanta or whatever it was. I mean, I know the thing, but I ain't trying to get into all that. But I'm just like, because you know what it is too. But I'm just saying, he didn't really have nothing to do with that. But by him being second in command after Suge, that's kind of what got him in the danger seat that he was in. It's a danger seat, just like Kennedy was in a danger seat. Same thing. Just like Biggie was in a danger seat. So that's what happened. But me and his relationship is historical. It go down in history as far as I'm sure I was the deepest musician that he ever had as far as being a musician is concerned. And I know he had other producers and other guys play on his record, but I would say I would probably be the deepest one because of the way we worked, and because he was already a star when he came to Death Row anyway. He was already a star. But I'm just saying, I would think that me and his relationship would be the deepest as far as a musician would go.
With all your accomplishments, does getting asked about the Pac stuff, does it ever bother you?
No, because I'm proud of Pac. I'm just like Jimi Hendrix is an idol of mine, and Chuck Berry, and I'm getting ready to play with Stevie Wonder again, and the Jacksons and all of them. And I've been, I played with Stevie when I was a kid, when I was like 11. No, I was 7. He was 11. He had just signed to Motown. He had his first record out called it Pretty Music, but the old folks called it Blues. It was 62. And I was a child prodigy in Detroit, and he was too, but he already had his first record out. It wasn't a hit, but it played on the radio a few times. And I came and auditioned with him, and it was serious enough for people, for Barry to send Holland Dozier Holland out to my grandparents' house. But they was going to go, his manager said they was going to really go with Stevie. So my grandfather said, don't worry about my grandson. He go, I'm going to make sure he have whatever he need to be what he going to be, because he got it from God, just like Stevie do. And that's what happened. I became like what you call like a star musician. So that's what it is.
I want to speak on that. I want to speak on that because I have you on the phone and I've talked to you before, but I never got to tell you that I think that you are one, if not the best living guitar players. And in the line of Hendrix, of Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, is there anyone today that plays guitar that you admire that you'd like to play with or have played with?
Yeah, I mean, one of my buddies I'm getting ready to do this thing with, that we did it before with the Jacksons, Tommy Organ is a buddy of mine. Did you see the last Michael thing? What was the name of the thing Michael did? This Is It? Yeah, did you see This Is It?
Yes, I did.
Okay, the black guy that was with the blonde hair that was playing with the white girl?
Yeah, I know exactly.
And the guitar?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a buddy of mine. And Blackbird is a buddy of mine. And Tommy O is a buddy of mine. All the great guitar players love me. I was even in the Jimi Hendrix world. I played with all the guys that played with Jimmy. I played with Buddy Miles, he's a good friend of mine. I played with the two white boys that Jimmy was with. I played with Billy Cox, the black bass player, and I knew Jimmy's daddy. That got poured into the Jimmy world. And that's where George really saw me play. George really, he knew of me because I was from Detroit and I would be in the studio sometime when it would be. And I knew I was friends with the guys in the group. But I think it was 94. I had got, I had just got with Death Row in 93. And they had a bumper shoot up in Seattle where Jimmy is from, right? And I had already went overseas and played a Jimmy thing with Buddy Miles, the black, the drummer, the bad drummer that could sing and play his ass off, the fat guy. He's my buddy. So me and my other buddy, we went up there. We took the train and went up to Seattle. And I wasn't even on the show, but buddy made him put me on the show. And I won the contest. It was a Jimi Hendrix contest, and Jimmy's family had finally got the money. They got $60 million. And I was standing there playing with a bunch of other guitar players, including the guy that played with Living Color. He was standing right by me. We was all playing. And Jimmy's dad was sitting in this king chair. This is all a true story. And he said, "That boy played like my son." He's pointing at me. And the other guy, he was kind of embarrassed. He didn't like me after that. I mean, I didn't really. I carry my own thing. I don't look up to nobody because I know I know what I got in my own right. But the guy that played with Living Color, I forget his name, but he didn't like that because he figured that he had the thing going and whatever. He don't play like Jimmy. I play like Jimmy, but I was playing before Jimmy came out. I got my first guitar at 2. I think Jimmy got his first guitar at 13, something like that. So we probably started playing at the same time. You know what I mean? But Jimmy is definitely my one of my main guitar hero of all time, of course. But I respect and love all the great guitar players: Wes Montgomery, George Benson, all the great blues guys. BB, I got a chance to play with BB King one time at BB King. He said, "Son, you the first one that made me want to come up here and play in my own place. Let's do something." And I was so excited. I was going to put my guitar on him and let him play, and made a mistake and hit him in the head with the guitar. That is not really hard, but anyway, he said, no, don't worry about it, sir. Don't worry about it. Let's, I'll sing and you play. We did Thrillers Gone, and everybody was standing on top of their seats with candles. It's a true story. It was at the B.B. King's place that used to have it out in the valley. I forgot where they had a bunch of shows and restaurants and stuff. But nevertheless, that was a real highlight, And I love all the great guys. I mean, like Chuck Berry. All the great guitar players, the great white boys. Stevie Ray. And I mean, whoever's great. I love all great musicians. So I mean, But I like I said, I never really. I got a Ricky Rouse album finally coming out. I've had a couple record deals and stuff, but I got to. I'm putting my album out. I'm finished writing it. I just got to finish cutting it. So it's going to be out. People know because I'm going to put it all over the internet and put it out. But I didn't get a chance to be a superstar in my own right. Like I could have been when I was younger, when I went to Scotty Brothers and people like that. But now anybody, you can put your stuff out and just, do your own thing. And that's what I'm doing next. This project I'm getting ready to do for the Jacksons and Stevie and all them is going to give me whatever I need to get my stuff out. And I'll be able to, because I mean, I don't feel too old, because I mean, I know Chuck Berry, 90 years old, and he's coming out with a new album. That's crazy. That's insane. And he don't even need no money. So ain't no excuse. Age is not a big factor. As long as you got your health and you still got your skills. And I do yoga and I make sure I get my little cardio in. And I still can do a lot of the moves. I don't do a lot of flipping no more like I used to. I used to flip on stage, flip off the stage. But I do pretty much all the rest of the moves, And these moves, they was before Jimmy. Jimmy perfect. He took them to another level. But it was, Chuck Berry was doing his moves, and a lot of other blues guys, they was doing, the flipping and the playing with your TV, playing behind your head, and I still do a lot of that, Like if you look up George Cribben and put Ricky Rouse in it, you'll see me doing a lot of that stuff. But I don't flip no more like I used to. But all the rest of the stuff, I still got it going. But yeah, man, I love talking about Pac, man, because Pac is like to hip hop what Hendrix was to music. To me, that's where I would put Pac. He's like the Jimi Hendrix of hip hop. And you want to get, compare, because we talked about Jimmy, and he saw, and because, I mean, like I said, he had the girls liked him. He was, and Pac would dress a little flamboyant sometimes. He would just dress, he would dress either all the way gangster or, but, he was kind of, he had kind of a little flash to him. And he had a look to him that the women like Jimmy did. So he had his own style. I mean, he definitely had his own complete style. Just like Biggie had his own style. Biggie was great too. Pac had his own style. I just hate. I mean, I know they're cool now, but I just hate that it happened like it happened.
Well, speaking on that, I just watched. I have a unreleased session video. And it's a footage for a song called Why You Turn On Me. I don't expect you to remember exactly what song. But you're sitting there, and he asked for a sample, and you're playing the bass. And I know that you played a lot of bass and you did a lot of work on Death Row. But I don't think that people give you enough credit for the amount of work that you did. Because your work ethic, it seems to rival Pac. What is your process when you go into the studio? And is that work ethic why you and Pac click so well?
Oh, yeah. You said it. I mean, you said that because Pac knows, because he would never go over a leg no more than one time. If you fluff it, the next time he always had it. Same thing with me. I was the only one that could do that. And I was born to really be a special guy at Death Row because I didn't have to worry about all the crazy shit up there because shit like me. And I'm born in Detroit, so I was used to being around them kind of guys. But but I wasn't that. I walked through it. I never had no harm come to me. I'm just letting you know that side too. Because it was dangerous, man. I mean, I would have my little girls and have my little shiny sports cars and be coming there dressed like Jimmy, and I had my little flair to me, and they dug that. But they knew I was the real deal, though. See, if I wasn't the real deal, it wouldn't have happened, man. But Suge knew I was the real deal. He dug my energy, and nobody ever messed with me up there. I never had no problem with nobody, man. I mean, because sometimes I was, when they was on house arrest, they knew I would be, I used to like to go to the strip club, right? And I'm just telling you this, so I don't know if you don't want to put it in there, but I'm just telling you this. I still like to go to the strip club, hang out and pick my girls. I was a bachelor and had my little house, my little apartment, and I was rolling. And so Pac and Suge was on house arrest. So sometimes I get the limousine and go up there to the joint and fill it up and then bring them back to Death Row, take my 1 or 2 chicks and go into the crib. And one time, one of them girls I brought up there in a Pac session, this is the truth, man. You be careful what you want to put in there, but I'm telling you just how deep it was. I brought a girl up there, and, they would have the police up there kind of, right? You heard about that, right? They had the police up there before you get into the session.
Absolutely.
And they kind of looked at me as being like one of the stars. I was the star. I think I was the star musician there. I wasn't the star like Snoop or Tupac, and that as a solo, but I was probably the star, definitely one of the stars, and that's the top star musician there. So they said, "Oh, Ricky Robin," and I had this little chick with me, right? And she was a little hood chick. She was no freak and all that. And I just brought it to the session, right? Because she wanted to see Pac. Man, I didn't know the chick had a gun.
Oh.
So the police, let me tell you how deep it was, how much love I got up there. The police say, "Oh man, she was Ricky Rouse. Just take the gun and get back to her when she leaves." If that had been somebody else, do you know what would have happened? It would have been a big situation.
Yeah,
that's how much love. Yeah, that's how much love I had up there. Because I mean, Michelle A would call me and get readings from me. One of Suge's girlfriends, one of his other girlfriends would get readings from me, and Suge wouldn't say a word. They knew I was weird. They knew I was strange, but then they knew I was cool. I wasn't no threat. I was a help. And they liked the way I carried myself. I kept my nose clean, and I stayed out of all the gang business. I quit going. I would go to Dre's house when when we first started. Dre had a house in Calabasas, and we would go to Dre's house and cut. And sometime I would maybe go to one of the parties that Dre might have with the girls or something and be there. But when they started going on, the violent shit started happening. When they started going out, I never went to none of that shit, man. Like somebody would go get beat up or shot or whatever. I never went because I wasn't supposed to be there. I knew what it was. I'm from Detroit.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?